The following section of the training discusses named windows and tables. The section first overviews and compares named windows and tables. Next we learn about defining a named window and inserting into a named window. After that we learn about defining a table. And after that is the into table clause for aggregating into table aggregation columns. Thereafter is a discussion about selecting and joining named windows and tables. Then we learn about subselects, also known as subqueries. We look at onAction, starting with onSelect for selecting. OnMerge can express insert, select, update and delete all in one place as an atomic unit. OnUpdate is for updating. And onDelete for deleting. Then the topic is fire and forget queries. The section concludes with related topics. On this page is an overview and comparison of named windows and tables. A named window is a named data window. A named window requires declaring a data window. A named window provides an insert and remove stream. A named window cannot have a primary key. A named window holds events. A named window does not hold mutable rows but holds immutable events. An example that defines a named window is here. This example defines a named window that holds the last 10 seconds of withdrawal events. Create window withdrawal, last 10 sec. At time parenthesis 10. As withdrawal. A table is a data structure holding rows. A table cannot have a data window. A table does not provide an insert and remove stream. A table can have primary keys and there is only 0 or 1 row per primary key. A table holds rows. A table holds mutable rows, not events, but aggregations may hold events. Table columns can be of type aggregation. Since columns can be of type aggregation, they offer shareable aggregation state with multiple contributors and readers. A next example defines a table. This table holds a row per account ID. Each row has a column named total that contains a sum of big decimal aggregation state. Create table withdrawal totals. Parenthesis account ID string primary key comma. Total sum parenthesis big decimal. This slide discusses all the things that named windows and tables have in common. You can define a named window by create window named name ... You can define a table by create table name ... Upon deploying, the runtime allocates the named window or table. Upon undeploying, the runtime destroys the named window or table. The visibility rules for named windows and tables are the same as for all EPL objects, variables, event types etc. Provided the compiler path has the object, note, since the compiler path defines the EPL objects that the compiler can see. Private visibility means the named window or table is visible within the same deployment only. Protected visibility means the named window or table is visible to other modules that have the same module name. Public visibility means the named window or table is visible to all. Within the runtime, named windows and tables are unique by deployment ID and name. Named windows and tables can be partitioned using contexts, discuss later. Named windows and tables can be queried using JDBC with the Esper JDBC client driver and server-side service. Named windows and tables support a create, read, update, delete model of operation. This slide is an overview and the next slides discuss each of the below in detail. The following can be used to create an event in a named window, or to create a row in a table. Insert into clause can insert an event into a named window or a row into a table. The into table clause is only for tables and can add rows to tables. A fire and forget insert query can add one or more events to a named window or rows to a table. For reading from a named window or table, the below are the options. A select can list named windows and tables in a from clause, including for joins. An on select is very much like a join, and selects from a named window or table. A subquery is an expression that can be used where expressions are allowed. Therefore a subquery can be used pretty much anywhere, such as, for example, the select clause, or the where clause or the group by clause. A fire and forget query can select and join named windows and tables. The iterator API, as discussed in the Programming Interfaces section, can iterate the events of a named window or the rows of a table. Named window events and table rows can be updated. The on merge updates events held by a named window and can update rows in a table. The on merge can also conditionally insert, update, select and delete, as an atomic action. The on update updates named window events and table rows. A fire and forget query can update events in a named window or rows in a table. Named window events and table rows can be deleted. The on delete deletes named window events and table rows. A fire and forget query can delete events in a named window or rows in a table.